We're here with Coach Erin Brown of Lindenwood in your third season, second in the OVC. Um, Coach, last year your squad fell in a 10-inning ball game in the first round of the OVC tournament, um, and that was in your first season in the conference and Division One. Tell us how this may feed your team as they return pretty much the whole squad from that game.
Yeah, we do. I think everyone's eager for another shot to compete in regular season and then the conference tournament. That was a tough way to end your season. Luckily for us, we graduated one person, so everyone else is returning. So they're going to get their shots and opportunity, and I think that they're eager to move forward.
What did you take away from your first season in the OVC, and how does that prepare you for the upcoming campaign?
I guess compared to like this time last year, we have a much better idea of what to expect with our opponents in the league. And so that part, that part is wonderful. Just having an idea of the different teams in the OVC, what their strengths are, what they kind of look like, and then for us moving forward, like with recruitment and where we feel like we need to make adjustments or improve, that just gives us a much better idea as opposed to last spring when we just really had no idea, super familiar with the league that we were in, being in that for a long time. But for us, we're excited about this upcoming season. We do have almost everyone returning. We have 5 freshmen and 3 transfers. And so we are much deeper than we were last year. And at the end of the season, we were plagued with some injuries. And so we were sort of piecing things together, and kids playing out of position that they were typically used to, pitchers pinch running potentially. I mean, it was getting crazy there at the end. And so we're excited to have everyone back, and hopefully we can keep everyone healthy, and really just give it a go this spring with these 8 seniors that we have and let them really leave their mark and on a high note.
Okay, can you elaborate a little bit more on, kind of the push for this season and kind of what you kind of hope for in general, in the whole scheme of things, and maybe even some of your goals for the year?
Yeah, I think, well, for us, we really try to keep it process oriented. And so some of the things that we're really focusing on is, offensively just getting on base and executing when we have runners in scoring position. So from going to like having really great at bats to being ready to hit when we're in the batter's box. And on the defensive side of things, really getting the outs that we have opportunities to get. Our pitchers have been working really hard in the off season and keeping them healthy and eager like throughout the season is going to be important. We have first 3 weekends. We're playing 5 games each weekend, so that's going to be a really strong test these first few weekends before we hit OVC play. And so for us, a lot of our goals are process driven and really trying to execute on both sides of the plate. And if we do those things, I think we're going to have a great shot of winning more games than we did last year, which is a goal of finishing higher in the regular seeding standings. So that's something that we're really trying to kind of focus on, but keeping like the process in mind. And if we do those things, we're going to give ourselves a good opportunity.
You had mentioned your schedule, a little bit. Can you talk about, pretty much what went into, your thought process of how you scheduled and what kind of competition you wanted to face before you walk into OVC play?
We're starting off our season down at the University of Incarnate Word, and we're going to be facing Prairie View A&M, Incarnate Word, and then Buffalo. So I think that we're going to have a nice sort of opening weekend of test and see where we're at. The next weekend we go to Louisiana Monroe and also have Louisiana Tech. So that's going to be some tough competition. Both of those teams did well. Louisiana Monroe played us at a high level. They hosted LSU at their place last year. And so that's going to be a tough weekend. And then we're going to Gardner Webb with some other like mid-major size, but Marist is there and they had a 30+ win season. So Our first 3 weekends are filled with some tests and opportunities to see where we're at. And so I think that will be good for us to learn and grow and make adjustments moving forward and getting ready for OVC play at that point.
Yeah, well, good. Coach, tell us, some of the strengths, of your team, and just a little bit more about maybe a couple of the individuals that can contribute.
Sure. Well, I think that one of our strengths this year is the depth that we have. We're 2 or 3 deep at every position, which is really great. We didn't have that last year. And so coming in, there's a lot of competition at each spot. And each sort of individual has their strengths, offensively or defensively or both. I think that, Amanda Way in the circle, this is her 5th year, and she has consistently been a leader on the mound for us. And so we're excited for that. We're also excited for kind of up and coming pitchers. We have a freshman pitcher, and then Avery Wap was returning from last year, a freshman pitcher, Molly Berkey, and each of them sort of have their strengths. So we're excited about watching them on the mound. And Hannah Jo Hanning is also another pitcher for us, and she also hits and plays outfield. So she adds some depth on the defense and offensive side as well. But we're going to return most of our infield with a few sparks in the outfield too that will be additions. So what I'm really excited about is just letting them play and seeing how they do and see if anyone starts to separate themselves, because we do have a lot of options. And so I'm excited to see who sort of progresses and how we can utilize each sort of player on our roster in different situations, setting them up for success and to help the team.
Great. And finally, Coach, can you give us one thing that your team needs to maybe be in contention to compete or win the OVC championship this season?
I think execution, both offensively and defensively, is the key for us. Really making the plays we have opportunities to make, and scoring runners in key situations is going to be important. And so that's really a key for us. We have really great team chemistry. I have a great group of girls. They're fun to be around every day, and they're really in it for the team and not personal accolades. And so for us, if we can keep that team chemistry going and then executing to our potential on both sides, then I think we're going to be positioned to really have some success this year in the OVC.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.